So I kicked Oma out. This is my other top that I got this one for 20. Remember, I got 2 tops for 20 each, one for 15, but then I got $10 off. So I got 3 tops for $45. That's going to be it. I won't be buying any more clothes except for a pair of shorts if I can find something that fits me, it's comfortable, and is still, you know, sexy or whatnot. Not micro shorts, sexy. I've tried those on before. And I've seen women wear them, you know, out in public, like walking down the street or whatever, but I'm not comfortable in the super short shorts that just go right above your, like right below your ass cheeks. They're just too short for me. Mine are short enough, thank you very much. Not that I couldn't wear those, I kind of have the legs for it. Amazingly so. Anyway, I just get sick of, you know, sometimes I just want to eat in peace and not have him just right there, you know. So I have this in black and in like a light cream colored, extra small. Go figure, huh? This is the first time I've ever purchased an extra small of anything in my life. And it's just chance. It just happens to be the way this top was made. They were made in Vietnam. I don't know. I'm not questioning it. I just know that I wanted the yellow one and that other kind of blue, and I couldn't get it because somebody got the last one. And the funny thing is, I was told by the dressing room woman that, oh, she's like, you had the small. I had to get an extra small off a mannequin for somebody who wanted a small but decided to settle for the extra small because there was no small. And I'm like, yeah, and I'd actually like to have the extra small. And she's like, well, she's gone. And if she shows up, I'll tell her, you know. She was already gone through that. She didn't even try. I'm like, she didn't even try it on. She's like, no. I'm going to call over to Kohl's just for the hell of it, because you never know. She might have got it home, tried it on, it didn't fit her, and she returned it. And also, nobody's perfect, so that saleswoman, because they were up high. I hate when something I want's up high. Because I said to her, are you sure? Because there's all this many. And I'm like, are you sure there's no extra small in that? She's like, yeah, I just looked for that woman. I'm like, okay. I have to trust you, I suppose, but you might have made a mistake. I'm like, I can't believe all of those are only medium and large, and I suppose it's possible. I can keep Omar out there because he peed 50 zillion times and he went his afternoon poo-poo, so should be okay. Remember, his dog's out in the pen. Speaking of him, my roommate, we were watching Believe last night, and a commercial came on for Frontline Plus. I'm wondering if he watched it. He wasn't asleep. He wasn't going to make something to eat or whatever. He was sitting right there watching it. I don't understand. I don't get it. I also don't get why his brand new girlfriend, they've barely been dating, they just haven't been dating long at all, why she wants to meet me, you know. I have to Actually, Omar could come in when I'm in here, I suppose. When I'm sitting on the couch downstairs, I get annoyed. And he's right in my face. Yeah, I don't understand why she wants to meet me. That's strange. I'm going to say to him, I need to know. Simply because my life circumstances are not normal life circumstances. I want to know what he's told her about me. And I'm going to say, you know, you told your new girlfriend that I'm sociable. Yeah, I'm sociable with you. Because you know that my mother's locked up in the mental hospital. You know I was in an abusive relationship for 11 years. You know that I was in the living in a homeless shelter for 6.5 months. You know the deal with Marion and my mother and all this crap. And, you know, and I could just be myself around you because you know, because you know all of this. If I was in a different situation with a different roommate, it would be a completely different story. I get along great with him above and beyond the fact because he's so good to me and he takes me places in his car and whatnot, places I need to go, like Target and Walmart and the grocery store, you know. Particularly the grocery store. But it's weird for me having a male roommate, let me tell you. But I'm grateful, especially since I could have wound up somewhere else. There was this woman who was advertising it, and when she answered my Craigslist ad, remember I put right up front, I cannot spend more than $600 a month. Okay, I can't pay more than $600 a month, including everything, utilities, heat, cable, internet, everything, phone. She answers my ad. And on the surface it seemed ideal. You know, she's like, yeah, I have another, because I had put in my ad that I was on Social Security disability. She's like, yeah, I have someone else on disability, and she mostly stays in her room with her dogs, you know, probably comes out to use the kitchen, or apparently this woman rents out rooms in her home or something, I don't know. And then she says, I said, well, do you have a yard? She's like, I have it's a fenced-in area. On the surface that it seemed really cool. In retrospect it wouldn't have been. And thankfully, even though she knew I could only pay $600, she's like, well, you know, because you have a dog, I have to charge you $700 because I charge $700 to the other woman who has a dog. I'm like, well, I said no, you know. I said no. And in the end, looking back at the emails, I knew exactly what that would have been like. It would have been isolated and lonely. That woman, like she said, she just stays in her, she's on disability like you, and I told her, I'm like, is there a place for me to walk? And that was a warning. She's like, well, no, not really, kind of a main road, but I have an outside fenced enclosure for the dogs. So if there was nowhere for me to walk, I don't care if they have an outside enclosure. Thank God I didn't wind up there, but if I had to get out, I would have gone anywhere, you know. He kept writing to me, and I refused because he was a guy. You understand? He didn't give up, but he was a guy, and I kept just ignoring him. Not ignoring him, you know what I mean. I'd be like, polite or... I forget, I have to look back at my emails, but I was basically blowing him off, like saying I'm not sure, you know, because he was a guy. And in the end, I told him the truth. I'm afraid to live, you know, I was in an abusive relationship for a long, long time. He wrote me back like, he said, I can't stand men who hurt women. I would never hurt anybody. And in the end, I still forced him to, I said, well, if you can find somebody, a woman, who will vouch for you, then I'll give you, you know, maybe I would consider it. So he found somebody who would, and she wasn't, I called her and just, like, let her talk, you know what I mean? I called her and I just listened. And in the end, I needed to get the fuck out of there, so. I never imagined in a million years 99.9% of the human race would not have gone and picked me up sight unseen, especially when I'm telling you the truth about my mom's going crazy here, and I'm afraid of my aunt coming back, and I was in, you know, and I'm on social psych disability. No. The fact, I'm so grateful. I mean, he came and got me. He got all my stuff. He picked me up. I never imagined he would agree to it. Will you come and get, would you, I can't imagine, I even prefaced it, I can't imagine you agree with it. Will you come and get me and Omar, you know, before marrying, will you come and get us, and with sight unseen, and just move, and I'll just won't see your place, and we won't meet first, and I'll just move in? Will you do that? And he agreed. Okay, now I've prefaced all of that with that, so you can understand that this is not normal shit. I don't know what he's told. He might not have told, he's a guy, he might not have told her anything. She says, I've heard a lot about you, and I just didn't say anything. She's like, oh, good things, but who knows what he's told her? Maybe he's told her nothing. But that still leaves me with meeting her and not knowing what to say. Plus, I'm severely depressed. I can talk with him because he knows everything, you know. I'm going to tell him. I'm just going to be like, you know, I need you to tell me what, you know, and I'm going to explain to him, you and I get along great with you, and I talk with you, and I'm sociable and whatnot, because I don't have to hide anything. I don't have to pretend. I can just be myself. Okay? That's not the case with a stranger, and your new girlfriend's a stranger. Okay? I mean, I'm also going to tell him, you know, when you called me downstairs last night, my gut instinct, my first reaction was, oh my God, did I do something wrong? And that comes from me being in an abusive relationship for all those years, and I wasn't just in an abusive relationship as an adult with Donald. You know, I was abused by my father during those 4 years of high school hell when I was just a kid, and on top of that, from my ages of 4 to 12, my mother was with an abusive alcoholic who, as to my recollection, never hurt me, you know. I know he didn't. And I don't believe he ever touched me sexually except for that French kiss thing that I do remember. He French kissed me when I was 9. He was shit-faced, and he had that full beard, and he used to get food in it, and I'd have to hug him and kiss him. You wonder why I'll never, ever, ever, ever. And I don't care if you condemn me or call me shallow or whatnot. I will never date a guy who has that. I can't stand it. So, and I'm not attracted to men like that anyway. So, with those kind of beards. This is my Bliss Max with cashews, macadamia nuts, goji berries, mulberries, cacao nibs. That's it. But they, I don't think I'll be getting it again. It's good, but I can make my own, and it's just too expensive for what it is. naked before eating or drinking anything early this morning before I even took Omar out or even put a drop of water in my mouth. Nothing. I didn't even take my fluoride chill. Nothing. Okay. I was 163 and I fasted all day yesterday, so kind of surprised at that because last time I had weighed myself just a couple of 3 days ago, whatever, 2 days ago, I had been 163. That must mean I went back up to 166 for some reason. I kind of ate too much Sunday, but then I walked for 5 miles before kind of eating too much, you know. But it was at night that I kind of, but who knows. I also I've been taking my colon cleanse. Maybe I just have to go to the bathroom, and maybe I would weigh less tomorrow if I cool it today. I don't know. But I was surprised. I thought for sure maybe I'd only gone up to maybe 164 and I would be like 161 today. No, it was 163. I don't know if people would disagree with me or my intentions or plans or whatnot, but I feel since he's opening up that can of worms, it's a can of worms to have me meet your new girlfriend. I don't know if she wants to do that to scope me. I have no idea. I really don't. I don't get it. But he has to understand that I need to know what he's told her about me. And I have every right to ask him because he's the one who opened up the can of worms. Not like me saying, "Can I meet your girlfriend? Can we hang out and go for coffee or go have play dates with the dogs or whatever?" You know, not me doing it. Never would in a million years. So I have a right to know what he's told her. I'm gonna ask him. Ask him what he told her. People lie. He might have told her everything and might say he's told her nothing. The thing is, it's not like I had him make. He's not like a new friend I would meet and do, like you did when you were a kid. You promise you won't say anything, pinky swear, whatever. He can tell anybody he wants, his parents, his friends, anything about me. But if he's going to invite me to meet them, I mean, that's a different story. That kind of, it's weird for me. The marathon 2014 was today. I remember, like everyone else, being in shock at what happened last year. Crazy fucking shit, huh? It's crazy. The world's crazy. Speaking of crazy, not that she was crazy, but I was depressed and fucked up because I wasn't aside. I don't particularly care for cacao nibs. I buy them from Sun Food, and they come in the trail mix. They come in that bliss mix. They probably have come in maybe other things, and I put them in my smoothie every day. I'm plain out. They're too strong for me, but even if I don't particularly care for them, they're good for you. They're pure dark chocolate, and pure dark chocolate is very high in antioxidants. It's very good for you. Anyway, because I was never able to like a lot of people, I'm certainly not alone. probably not alone in a lot of things. That you might feel alone, but then you find out you're really not alone. Because I was never able to realize any of my big dreams or whatnot, okay? I'm fascinated by people who did, but then who pissed it all away. Like, say, Janis Joplin. I was reading about her, because, I don't know, I guess just trying to understand why people who, they wind up achieving everything that I've ever wanted. They get the fame, the success, the recognition, the ability to make a living with their creative gifts, And that's what I'd always wanted. I've always wanted that. I was never able to achieve it, but it's what I wanted, And then they piss it all away. And Janis Joplin pissed it all away by doing hard drugs that, and whether she intentionally, and whether they mean to die or not, they're, I would never, anybody who does that, you can't just say, oh, I'll try it once. I mean, I'm the type, yeah, I'd be curious about everything, but it's Pandora's box. And I will never try crack or heroin or anything like that. But anyway, people do, and then it gets them, just like they wrote under the comments with Janis Joplin thing, People think they can handle the dragon, and the dragon ends up biting you, you think. But I try to understand why they do it, because they get that I've always wanted, they get to have the success and that and this, that, and whatnot. But in her case, I've heard that she was teased, bullied as a kid. And you think I'm the only one who questions this? You can type it in. I typed it in. Why did Janis Joplin do drugs? Why did she die of an overdose? Blah, blah, blah. And people ask the same thing, and people answer it. And one of the things they say, it's a lot, low self-esteem. She was bullied as a kid. In the end, I answer my own question. I do know. It's just, I don't know, these people that do that. I do get it. I get why. And the thing is, there's never a single reason, They just said everything about her was big, She wanted it all. So whether it was eating or drugs or music or whatever, it was all larger than life. And in the end, most people can't sustain that. So that's what they said. But I also believe, and so do other people, if you read comments, that they said she never felt like she really could sing, even though she was incredible, and she wasn't super attractive. And because one person put something stupid like, oh, why did she do drugs? Because she was ugly. It's stupid. But in any case, if she was bullied as a kid, and that never leaves you, I don't care how successful you get it, in the end, you do have that in the back of your mind. And at least Lady Gaga says you do, and she's a fucking mega superstar. She was bullied as a kid, and she says it never leaves you. But didn't achieve any kind of success, but I can tell you firsthand it never leaves you either. I can say the same thing. It never leaves you. So I don't know. See, I answer my own questions. I know why they, even if they don't intentionally, life is hard, and whether you're successful and famous or not. And apparently Janis Joplin became more a legend, more famous, more famous after she died and whatnot, but still, she did achieve that kind of success that a lot of people ache for and never achieve. And she was able to make a living with utilizing her creative gift she was blessed with at birth, and not expected to go work at Burger King or something. Anyway, in the end, everybody's pain is individual, you know. People who are in pain, not everybody's in pain. I've known people that were perfectly happy. Like, I'm not going to give you her name, but she was religious and she was happy all the time, and I worked with her at parking concepts. She was an older woman than me and Hispanic, and she just loved God and loved her kids and loved life and was always nice and happy and smiling. Of course, we know where this is going in Laura's mind, though. She wasn't all that deep, you know. The deeper you get, the more intelligent you get, the more, you know, that's where you get into trouble a lot of times. I need to call Dog Woman. I have called her a couple times, not like I haven't, it's just I didn't, she didn't answer, and then I don't know what my cell phone is, it was off. Yeah, I definitely want to go for my walk. Feeling agitated. I showered and washed my hair. I used my henna. My henna shampoo and conditioner. I could go buy it or something, I don't know. All I know is it makes my hair really blonde and shiny and soft. Got it from Cooks. Try sometimes, but rarely succeed. Try so hard, don't know what to believe. The enemy is self-contempt. The darkest place, secrets are kept. Can't be explained, can't even be named. Where is that dream I never dreamt? Even the touch that heals can't last. I have to sink down with my arms spread out before me, wanting so hard, wanting so much to understand just a little bit, praying to a God that has never heard me. My room can't be lit. Praying to a God that has never heard me. My room can't be lit. But I sure as fuck wouldn't mind having the ability to parlay, I believe that's the word, some of this internet fame into something lucrative for me, even a teeny little bit lucrative. Monetization of my videos hasn't worked. I haven't made a penny on that. I don't know if there's even any way to parlay this into something lucrative for me. Something lucrative and legal, okay? Something lucrative and, you know. Anyway, I think parlay is a word. I love this top too. Cute little $15 top. I wanted it in yellow too. It's a pretty yellow, but alas, I couldn't get it. You already saw this on me. Just cute little flimsy thing. It won't be going in the dryer, and it will be going in cold in the washing machine, the gentlest cycle that you can possibly put it on, because it's nothing. You know, it's just flimsy, but that's why you know, I like it, and it looks good on me, you know. And it's an extra small, which is crazy. And it fits me. This is an extra small too, but you can see that, but it's an extra small. I've never worn an extra small in my life. That doesn't mean I'm in an extra small, because, you know, it just means this particular top, I could wear an extra small, and it's just how it goes, I suppose. I think I'll call. I'll try calling her and see if she answers, see if she picks up. At least try, right? My salvation. Our salvation. Walking with her music blasting in her ears. Ears, not ear. Ears. Ears. It is weird to me, though, as I think about all that shit. I think about the people who, you know, the ones, and there's less of them than the people who doesn't happen to, but you know, the ones that manage to get everything that I've ever wanted, you know, like Whitney Houston, and then they piss it all away and die young, you know, so, I don't know. I have to think about stuff like that. I think about everything. Everything. And I told you I obsess over why people commit suicide. You know, I've always been this way. I was this way as a teenager. So, I suppose it goes without saying, as you already know, you know, I didn't fit in anywhere, and I was being abused. My dad was making me feel like shit at home anyway, you know. Certainly didn't feel wanted and loved when your father's telling you, you know, nobody wants you, I don't want you, nobody wants you, your mother's crazy, I'm going to ship you back to your crazy mother. And it doesn't matter if it was just empty threats. It's the cruelest thing you could have said to me, you know. Who cares if it was empty threats? Who cares if you never acted on it? It was the cruelest thing you could have possibly said to me under the circumstances, you know. Give me a fucking break. I'll end with this. I stand 5'9.5" and bare feet. I have a body that some men on the dating websites or whatnot have written to me things like, you know, I would kill to be with you, or you have an unreal body, things like that, okay? I'm built like a fucking whatever. But I arrived at the welfare office in LA in tears a few years ago because there were a couple of African American women in the front who kept looking over at me and laughing, and they were making fun of me, and it triggered me from when I was a kid, okay? I was on the bus, I got to the welfare office, and I'm telling one of the women who was going to check us in or whatever, she couldn't have been maybe 5 feet or 4'9". Remember, she's a teeny little thing. And she's like, I said, is there something on his face or something? It turned out that or maybe I just told her, I don't know, but I had gone to the bathroom. It turned out that all they were laughing at was I hadn't put any makeup on. I was running late, and I really didn't care. I didn't want to go to the welfare office, and why do I have to get dolled up to go to the welfare office? You know, I had to go. I had an appointment or something. I had no choice, but I had some smeared lip mascara on the side of my face, okay, from washing my face and not, I'd had mascara on the day before and I was washing my face, and apparently, you know how that goes, you can get it, it wasn't major. And I feel like those women, they weren't kids. They should have had something better to point at or whatever. And I actually got mad on the bus because I knew that and I asked the person next to me, she didn't want to get involved. I'm like, are they making fun of me, whatever? And in the end, I don't know what I did. I got mad and I said something. I stormed off the bus and I'm like, yeah, those people were making fun of me. Those women would kill to have my body, you know? And I was heavier then, but still. I still had, you know, anyway, so she looks at me, this little, she's little, she was African American, okay, but it doesn't matter, she's looking at me, she's like, and I told her, I'm like, she's like, why you, I think she asked me why I was crying, or why I was upset, and I told her, and she's like, well, why'd you let that get you? I said, well, I was bullied as a kid. And she's like, okay, but you're not a little girl anymore. Look how big you are. I'm like, I know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's what I feel in here, you know. Because she was flabbergasted. I don't know how old she was. She's probably, see, if I was in my 40s, she's probably in her 30s maybe. She wasn't a kid, but she wasn't like 20-something. She was probably in her 30s maybe. And she was like, but look at you. She was flabbergasted that I was sitting there telling her that story, and it didn't make sense to her. It doesn't have to. Nothing has to make sense, you understand? Nothing about me has to make sense, because I don't make sense, period, okay? It is what it is, you know? It wasn't a lie. I arrived at that welfare office crying, or upset, or whatever, because they had been making fun of me on the bus, and I knew it. Not saying anything, just pointing and laughing, and they didn't stop. They did it the whole bus ride, and it drove me nuts. And in the end, I was just like livid, you know. And the thing is, they should have better things to do than that. It wasn't that big of a deal. It's not like I have black gunk all over my face or something really obvious. It was just a little smearing, because I saw it when I went to the welfare office. I went in the bathroom. It wasn't that big a deal, you know. It shouldn't have been. I don't remember if she said something to me. I probably, knowing me, I don't want to be this damn welfare office anyway, and I had no choice. And I probably just, maybe she was friendly to me, and I just wanted to talk, or wanted to ask her why they had done that, or who knows. But in the end, she was flabbergasted. She was like, she didn't understand why I even let something like that upset me or whatnot. And then when I said, well, I was bullied as a kid, when I was a little girl, and she's like, yeah, but look at you now, you're not a little girl. Look at you, you're like huge. Oh, I mean, I know. At least I'm aware of it. I'm aware that I don't make any sense. I don't make any sense. But even that not making any sense, you know, is what just drives me to just want to escape. You know, escape from my mind, escape into anything, just to, I don't know, just to pretend to be normal, even though I know I never will be normal.